Hello and welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Adam Cellini. Topping our news tonight, Australian police saying intelligence led to major raids across Sydney to stop an elaborate Islamic-inspired terrorist plot. ABC's Brad Milkey has that report.
Australians woke up to police conducting raids in 5 locations around Sydney.
There has been a major joint counter-terrorism operation to disrupt a terrorist plot to bring down an aeroplane.
Some people in Sydney were planning to commit a terrorist act using an improvised device.
The raids are ongoing. At least 4 men have been arrested. An Australian TV station reported that 40 riot squad officers wearing gas masks stormed a house before an explosives team found a suspicious device.
It was just people out back and then people screaming and yelling at each other. And there was like guys with like masks on.
Officials did not release specifics on the time and location of the alleged plot, but
We believe it is Islamic-inspired terrorism.
increased security measures are now in effect at all Australian airports.
Travellers should be prepared for additional scrutiny.
Police say so far none of the suspects have been charged. Brad Milkey, ABC News, New York.
And back here at home, Mote Marine officials are on the lookout tonight for a pod of dolphins after 20 of them were stranded on a Sarasota beach. Now Mote Marine worried it could happen again. A strange and uncommon incident, according to experts. Mote says that pod believed to be the mass beachings of Fraser dolphins, which are a species of dolphins not typically found off of the Sun Coast. Following the stranding, most of the pod made it back out into the Gulf. But one dolphin was transported back to Mote Marine for treatment, and it soon became apparent that that dolphin would not make it, and it had to be euthanized. If you do see a stranded dolphin, whale, manatee, or sea turtle, you are asked to call the Stranding Investigations Program's 24-hour call service at the number listed on your screen. And Mote advises that you do not push any stranded creatures back out. First, allow the experts to check them for injuries or sickness. Those beaches probably pretty crowded today. Another hot summer day. Let's head over to Wendy Ross for a check on that weather. Wendy.
And things are going to be changing starting with the overnight time period. Right now we hardly have any rain around, so things are nice and quiet for us at this point. Just a couple of stray showers well east, moving past the I-75 corridor. But we are looking at mostly cloudy to partly cloudy skies across the region, and that's about it. We really don't have a lot in the way of rainfall, but we've got plenty of showers that are just to the north of us, and they are farther out into the Gulf of Mexico, and they will be moving onshore throughout the overnight time period and into the morning hours tomorrow. But right now things are nice and quiet. What we are looking at, 85 degrees, fair skies for the most part. At least that's true at the airport. Our dew point humidity levels are high. Winds are coming in out of the west at around 8 miles per hour. But for the overnight time period, we're going to be seeing clear or cloudy skies all the way until about 3 o'clock in the morning. And at 5 o'clock, we are going to start to see the rains coming on in. They'll be right off of our coastline, moving towards the east, and that's what we can expect for the morning time period. We'll let you know what we can expect for the rest of the day on Sunday and what's going on farther into the week. That's all coming up in just a few minutes, Adam.
All right, thank you very much, Wendy. Well, healthcare has been making headlines in Washington and here in Florida, but one local teen was on Capitol Hill recently fighting for his illness, one which affects more than 1 million Americans and could lose valuable research dollars later this year. ABC 7's Erica Jackson has more on this 15-year-old's message to Congress.
Dozens of kids and teens are returning from Washington after lobbying for more type 1 diabetes research. One of them is from here in Sarasota, and he wants Congress to continue to support funding to help find a cure.
In between jam sessions, 15-year-old Reed Spahn takes a quick break to check his blood sugar readings. That's because he has type 1 diabetes and his body can't break down glucose due to an inactive pancreas.
It really destroys all the organs in the body if they have those high blood sugars running all the time.
His meter reads 247 because he just ate lunch.
And I believe the insulin pump and the CGM have made my numbers much more manageable.
But Reed only needs to prick his finger about 3 times a day because his continuous glucose monitoring system, or CGM, takes blood sugar readings every 5 minutes while attached to his body.
With the CGM, I can see my numbers constantly helps with overnight care.
It takes a blood glucose reading every 5 minutes and transmits it to his phone and our phones as well, so that we can see what his blood sugar is.
Reed and his mother Stacy say the latest technology was developed thanks to the Special Diabetes Program, a federal measure providing $150 million per year for type 1 diabetes research. The goal is to help find better treatment, therapies, and eventually a cure.
Even though we've got all this great new technology, there are still really scary, real health risks that are involved with type 1 diabetes.
Reed and others living with diabetes spent 3 days in the U.S. Capitol, asking Congress to renew the program instead of letting it expire later this year.
Spreading awareness for type 1 is extremely important because then it informs people about how difficult it really is and how much we really need to increase funding for research for a cure.
The Special Diabetes Program is set to expire on September 30th if Congress does not renew that research program. Reporting in Sarasota, Erica Jackson, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, thank you, Erica. A car crash in Venice leaves one driver critically injured and another with serious injuries. Crews responding to that collision at Briarwood Road and Coconut Drive just after 3 p.m. You can see the helicopters responding as well. Florida Highway Patrol says one of the drivers crossed into another's path attempting to make a U-turn. The driver, listed in critical condition, was flown to Sarasota Memorial Hospital. FHP says alcohol was not a factor in the crash, but charges are still pending. Well, we've all heard of road rage, but in South Florida, there was a case of resort rage. An investigation underway following the release of this surveillance video taken from the Ocean Sky Resort in Fort Lauderdale. It shows a valet attendant talking to a guest when all of a sudden the man up and knocks him out cold. Why? Well, the driver was upset about the price for parking his truck.
This guy is crazy. It's a criminal. I don't know what happened in his mind.
This person has to go to jail. I think justice needs to be served. No individual should have to go through what Rodolfo suffered.
Right now, the investigation is ongoing, and the victim says he still has soreness in his jaw, but thankfully that seems to be all he is dealing with. Well, following a request for voter information from each state, a presidential commission investigating allegations of voter fraud in the 2016 election now possesses some Florida voter information. The only information provided is reportedly public information, including the names of voters as well as any info on whether they had voted in recent elections. The good news is that Florida law prohibits the state from turning over driver license information or social security numbers. Well, travelers could soon be looking forward to more room on flights. The FAA is now under a federal court order to review the sizes of seats and legroom on commercial airlines. Advocates argue small airline seats can put passengers' health at risk for conditions like blood clots. They also say growing obesity rates aren't being recognized by airlines. The Washington, D.C. court's decision cites space between the seat and the one behind it has also decreased, but airlines contend that the room for extra seating on their planes can improve efficiency and offer better fares for travelers. Well, with the beginning of the school year fast approaching, Saturday's End of Summer Bash was a nice swan song for the summer. Hosted by the Backyard Oasis and the Inflation Station, the bash in Sarasota featuring all kinds of large inflatable slides, bounce houses, obstacle courses, and even areas for parents to kick back and relax.
They're bigger and there's more of them, and yeah, they're more fun. There's more kids to hang out with.
The water slides are amazing. You get to cool off, everybody gets to have fun, and it's fairly priced and a good way for the kids to enjoy their summer.
Those hosting today's events are hopeful that summer won't be the only time we see these large inflatable playgrounds. They want to hold similar events for families throughout the year. Well, still to come here on ABC 7, thousands evacuated following a fire at a popular international music festival, what officials believe caused that blaze. And a growing threat overseas, what U.S. intelligence officials are saying about North Korea.
There was this big bruise on my friend's face. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to think her own nephew could have hit her.
I didn't want to see it. My mother's bank account was emptied, and a caregiver had taken control of it.
I didn't want to see it. My father's refrigerator, there was hardly anything in it. That's unusual for him. It's tough to see that a senior citizen is being abused, physically, emotionally, sexually, or financially. Elder abuse is a crime.
So see the signs. Stop the crimes.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
This is an important medical announcement. Xarelto and Pradaxa have been linked to uncontrollable bleeding and even death. If you've been prescribed one of these drugs and have experienced these dangerous side effects, you may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that Pradaxa can cause more heart attacks than warfarin, and other countries have already issued safety warnings against this drug. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. The call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to Pradaxa victims, and thousands of Xarelto victims are filing their legal cases. Call the Drug Watch hotline if you or a loved one used Xarelto or Pradaxa and experienced uncontrollable bleeding, brain hemorrhage, or even death. You must call now.
Call 800-793-6055. 800-793-6055.
When it comes to drinking, what do you think moderation is? The U.S. Dietary Guidelines define moderation as up to 1 drink a day for women and up to 2 drinks a day for men. So what's a drink? The guidelines say a drink equals 12 ounces of beer, 5 ounces of wine, or a cocktail with 1.5 ounces of distilled spirits. Each contains the same amount of alcohol. Like to learn more? Visit drinkinmoderation.org.
Enjoy some of the best Suncoast restaurants on me. Just go to mysuncoast.com/dining, sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already, and you can win a $50 gift card to a restaurant in our area. We'll pick a winner each week, so go on our website and sign up now.
And are just wasting time. Trump is still fuming over the Senate's failure to pass its version of an Obamacare repeal, a signature campaign promise killed off with a thumbs down from Senator John McCain.
Boy, oh boy. They've been working on that one for 7 years. Can you believe that? The swamp.
The president's tirade comes as his White House struggles to regroup after that shakeup. The new chief of staff, set to start Monday, the old one left last night in the rain.
Hitting a reset button is a good thing, and the president did that, and so I think he's happy.
Speaking to Fox News, Reince Priebus refused to comment on the infighting among White House staff, including those especially harsh words about him from the new White House communications director.
I'm not going to get into that subject. It's getting in the mud, and I think the palace intrigue stuff is annoying, and I think it's a distraction. It takes away from the president's agenda.
Today in the West Wing, a glimpse of outgoing Press Secretary Sean Spicer, still helping out during the transition. As the administration regroups, one big question is who will take over as Secretary of Homeland Security when General John Kelly becomes Chief of Staff. ABC News has learned some senior White House aides are urging the president to move Attorney General Jeff Sessions over to that role. But some Republicans are already pushing back on that. Today, Senator Lindsey Graham tweeted, DHS Secretary Jeff Sessions doesn't sound right, doesn't feel right. Bad idea.
And in other international news, a growing threat in North Korea. Tonight, the first images of the dictatorship's latest missile launch. This latest launch shot 2,300 miles into space, landing in the Sea of Japan. But officials believe that North Korea can angle that trajectory to extend the reach dramatically. This newest text did not demonstrate whether North Korea can successfully arm the warhead with a nuclear missile.
Revised U.S. defense intelligence estimates now say that the North Koreans could have a nuclear missile-capable warhead within a year.
After the president conferred with his national security team, the White House released a statement warning the United States will take all necessary steps to ensure the security of the American homeland and protect our allies in the region. Thousands of people have been evacuated following a fire at a popular international music festival. A fire engulfing the stage at Tomorrowland Unite Music Festival Saturday in Barcelona, Spain. More than 22,000 people had to be evacuated. However, so far, no injuries have been reported at this time. Festival officials believe the cause of the fire to be a spark in the pyrotechnic display. If you've ever been to a music festival, those are prevalent, those fire displays, so it's amazing. I'm sure they take extensive safety measures, but luckily no injuries. That's pretty amazing.
That's miraculous.
Considering the way that looked.
Sounds like. No kidding.
Yeah.
No kidding. Well, I'll tell you what, we are about to see an about face as far as our weather is concerned, because today there was hardly any rain around. The rain that we got was pretty strong, but we only saw it in pockets. We saw our temperature highs in the 90s. 92 was the daytime high. And the overnight low, oh my gosh, it was 84 degrees last night. We're going to see pretty much the same thing again tonight, with our temperature dropping down to maybe 80 degrees. And normally we're at 75 and 90. In 2011, we had a record high of 96 degrees. And we're doing an about face because starting tomorrow morning, we're going to start to get showers in here once again, and they're going to last throughout the day. So right now, fair skies, 85 degrees, and we're looking at dew point humidity levels that are high. Winds are coming in out of the west at around 8 miles per hour, and we can see the stars out there right now. We are looking at just a little bit of rain well east. Well, it's starting to move east of I-75 down around the eastern sections of Sarasota County. Once those showers move out of the way, we're not really looking at a whole lot developing over the next hour or so, but we are going to start to see the rains coming on in from the Gulf of Mexico, and they're going to spread eastward as they come on in throughout the morning hours tomorrow. We'll get showers and thunderstorms, and there will be pockets of heavy rains once again. We're going to see some frequent lightning, and we'll also see strong gusty winds. That's going to be part of what we're going to experience. So you can see partly cloudy skies in the forecast right now. We're starting to see a few showers beginning to develop out here in the Gulf of Mexico, but it's going to be tomorrow morning when we're going to start to see these showers coming on in as a result of a cold front to our north, and it's helping to bring out all of these winds from the southwest, and that's where all this tropical moisture is. So it's going to be moving in across our area during the morning hours tomorrow and spread eastward. So again, pockets of heavy showers and thunderstorms, that's going to be starting to take place during the morning, and then it continues throughout most of the day. By about 7 o'clock tomorrow, we're going to be back to cloudy weather, and then it starts all over again on Monday. So this is going to be a repeated pattern over the next several days. In the meantime, the tropics are getting a little bit busier, not terribly frightening, but right now we are watching this area right here that's going to continue to move towards the west. In the next 48-hour period, no chance really for it to develop because of some drier air that's going to be running into, but over the next 5 days, there's a 20% chance of development. We'll keep our eyes on that. And so for boaters, winds will be out of the southwest at 15 knot, seas 2 to 4 feet. A moderate chop out on the bay. We're going to see our temperature about 89 degrees, and there's going to be plenty of cloud cover. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, a temperature low of about 80. And then tomorrow, it starts. We get the rains coming on in all the way through Wednesday and Thursday. Adam?
All right, thank you, Wendy. Coming up in sports, a U.S. swimmer who could be taking the crown from Michael Phelps. Stick around.
Attention blood thinner users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto or Pradaxa and suffered serious internal bleeding, call right now. You may be entitled to financial compensation. The widely prescribed blood thinners Xarelto and Pradaxa have been linked to a number of dangerous side effects, including internal bleeding, gastrointestinal bleeding, kidney bleeding, stroke, brain hemorrhaging, and even death. If you or a loved one suffered any of these injuries after taking Xarelto or Pradaxa, call right now. You may be owed significant compensation from the manufacturer. Thousands of blood thinner users may have been exposed to serious risk by these dangerous medications. If you or a loved one took Xarelto or Pradaxa and suffered serious internal bleeding, call right now. Call Nightline Legal to speak with an experienced attorney for a free consultation. If we don't win, there is no fee. There are time deadlines to file a claim, so don't wait. Call right now.
Call 1-800-554-3987. Again, that's 1-800-554-3987.
Just go do it. Go do it.
If you're not in control, then who is? Live above the influence.
I am the resident district manager on the FAU campus for Chartwell. Whenever I see Haley, I do not see a person with a disability. I see a person with extraordinary abilities. Haley is always smiling. She's always on time. She gives fantastic customer service and is always focused on any job that she's given.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Everybody can make something, because I think everyone has a spark of creativity, and the reason that I have to keep making is because I don't think my life would be as fulfilling without it. If you make things yourself, that means you're not cowering in fear. You're out there taking chances. That, I think, is my way of saying I love you to the world. All right, now I want to hear why you make.
Share your own Why I Make story today. Visit whyimake.org.
ABC 7, My Suncoast News. We're here for you. Watch My Suncoast News wherever you are. On our live stream, on our newly redesigned MySuncoast.com, and a brand new ABC 7 My Suncoast app, powered by the Eye Associates, providing Sight for Life, featuring traffic maps and live radar, and dining with recipes in all the hottest Suncoast restaurants. Visit MySuncoast.com and click on the mobile tab to download the ABC 7 My Suncoast app for iOS and Android.
Now, sports.
Well, it looks like the Rays got it right with this midseason trade. Former Mets first baseman Lucas Duda, he's hitting .500 with 2 home runs in just for his first 2 games as a Tampa Bay DH. Here's Duda's game-tying home run in the 8th inning of today's matchup with the AL East leading Yankees. 3rd homer for the team in that game on Saturday, but hitting hasn't been the issue. Instead, it's collapsing late in games in the field. The Yankees would load the bases in the 9th inning with no outs before Brett Gardner delivers the walk-off hit. Reliever Brad Boxberger gets his 3rd loss in less than 10 days, and the Yankees get their 6th straight win. Well, Major League Baseball will be adding 5 more to its Hall of Fame on Sunday. Former players Tim Raines, Jeff Bagwell, and Ivan Pudge Rodriguez are in, along with former Commissioner Bud Selig and longtime Braves GM John Schierholtz. Schierholtz has been a familiar face on the Suncoast, helping negotiate Atlanta's spring training move to Northport as the team's vice chairman. He's helped steer Atlanta to 5 World Series appearances from 1990 to 2007, which he says is the measuring stick for a front office every season.
That's the only goal that should matter to baseball organizations. At the end of the year, raise the World Championship banner. We did that in 1985 in Kansas City, and we did it in 1995 in Atlanta. And so those are the high points for me.
Over 26 seasons as a GM in Kansas City and Atlanta, Schierholtz's teams have won their division 15 times. A player who drew tremendous fanfare out at Ed Smith Stadium just 2 spring trainings ago has now been traded by the Orioles. Korean outfielder Hyun-Soo Kim was dealt to the Phillies Friday night for former Tampa Bay Rays pitcher Jeremy Hellickson following the team's 3rd straight loss. After hitting .302 in his first MLB season, Kim is slashing just .232 from the left side of the plate this year. Baltimore is currently 8 games behind in the AL East. Well, America may have its next swimming star. Caleb Dressel is in Michael Phelps territory after winning 3 gold medals in one night, the first swimmer ever to do so at the World Championships. Dressel nearly broke Michael Phelps' 100-meter butterfly world record in one race and is in position to tie another Phelps record if his 4x100 medley team wins tomorrow. He will have won 7 total gold medals at this year's World Championships. More to come here on ABC 7. Stay with us.
I knew I could get myself out of this. I just needed some hope and some help.
I took the first step to recovery when I made the call.
If you're depressed, drinking, and using drugs, you may need help.
And the Affordable Care Act guarantees coverage of substance abuse.
Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment.
I had problems just getting to sleep, drinking and using pills every night.
I feel like I'm losing control. I'm afraid I'll lose my job or even my family.
Are you losing hope? You can recover and get back on track. Call now for hope and help with proven, gentle recovery programs.
I never thought that I could be somebody who didn't drink and use drugs.
I have something to hold on to for strength. I'm in recovery, getting the help I need.
Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment with someone who cares.
Call 1-800-764-8708. That's 1-800-764-8708.
My name is Julius. I have cerebral palsy. I work for Farmer Jeffy Weising Law Firm. I do a lot of data entry and scanning documents. I want to increase my working experience to make the company much better. At the end of the day, it's good to think of the day's work and to think about what I have accomplished.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Florida's coral reefs are declining. Bad news for our oceans and marine life. Fortunately, you can help, and you don't have to dive, you just have to drive. When you purchase Moat's Protect Our Reefs license plate, $25 goes directly to Moat Marine Laboratory, whose research, restoration, and conservation programs are helping this precious natural resource thrive once again. So get your Moat Protect Our Reefs license plate today. You just might hold the key to saving Florida's reefs.
WWSB ABC 7 is an equal opportunity employer, and we're looking for qualified people to join our dynamic team. For a list of current openings and to apply online, visit www.mysuncoast.com/contact/employment. If you're a motivated team player and you want a rewarding career in a fun, fast-paced working environment, WWSB ABC 7 could be the perfect fit for you. Check out our list of openings now.
Because my parents told me I have to be responsible.
Because my first coach told me, you can do this.
Because my boss showed me how to do a good job.
Because my teacher helped me see the choices.
I'm swimming faster than I ever dreamed.
I am a valuable employee.
I discovered that I could work as an artist.
I will be whatever I want to be.
Youth with disabilities should grow up expecting to work and succeed. For more information, visit whatcanyoudocampaign.org.
ABC 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you weeknights at 5. The Florida Lottery winning numbers are sponsored by Frontier Fios.
All aboard! Some of Disneyland's iconic rides are reopening this weekend, and it very well could be a prelude of what's to come to Disney World. The Disneyland Railroad officially opening to the public this weekend, along with the Mark Twain Riverboat and the sailing ship Columbia. The rides have been shut down for the last 18 months due to the construction of Star Wars Land. Star Wars Land is set to open in 2019 at Disneyland and Disney World in Orlando. Disney also making plans for a Star Wars-themed luxury resort sometime in the future.
Oh.
Which, if you thought Disney resorts got crowded before,
that's so true.
The Star Wars fans,
oh man,
they
kidding.
They won't spare any expense.
No, they
to
sure
live
won't.
out that fandom.
They're gonna hover around and get there.
Exactly. I mean, the promise is there for only the best technology.
That sounds so good. It
well,
just sounds so good.
Pack an umbrella tomorrow,
yeah.
right? That's the message.
Make sure you have the umbrella with you at all times tomorrow.
Find you can check that weather right here tomorrow evening.